This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Now, I've just done watching a interview with Eddie Hearn on IFL TV, as I'm sure most of you guys have as well. If you haven't, that'll be in the description box under the source. Now, it's very, very unusual for this one. Now, I left this video at 12,000 views and over 1,000 people were clicking the thumbs down on that video. I weren't one of them, but over 1,000 people clicking a thumbs down on it and only 400 thumbs up. This is unheard of for an Eddie Hearn interview. Unheard of. For a Frank Warren, yeah, that's pretty common. But with Eddie Hearn, not at all. And the reason being is that he said that a Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua undisputed fight will not happen in the UK, and British fans need to use their head and their logic as to why it wouldn't happen in the UK. In other words, money. Now, he says that, as an example, he could go to Joshua and Fury and say, right, we could fight here in the UK, Wembley, Old Trafford, wherever, and you both get 40 million each. Or you can go to Saudi Arabia, as an example, and maybe get 100 million each. Which one do you think they're going to take? Now, we get it, and nobody would begrudge anybody earning as much money as they possibly can. But the thing is, these guys are multi-millionaires. The kind of money that these guys could just retire right now and never have to work again. Tyson Fury just signed a 5-fight deal for 100 million. 5 fights. He's coming to his 3rd fight now. And Anthony Joshua, he earns what he earns. He earns stupid amounts of money each and every fight anyway. Especially the last one with Saudi Arabia, where apparently he got anywhere between 60 and 80 million. So it's not like these guys need the money. But I think the reason why that the British fans are upset, again, it's just me and what it is that I hear, and for what the last 2-3 years that I've been doing YouTube, is the same kind of thing, which is, but it's two Brits fighting each other. Why should it not be in the UK? Why is 40 million not enough? Why is it that we've been helping these guys grow their brand? Because without us buying the tickets, the pay-per-views, the merchandise, talking about them, and word of mouth and all this kind of thing, these guys wouldn't be anything, would they? Without us, there'd be nothing. And that's the truth of it. So, are we not allowed to be rewarded for the first time in history, 2 champions coming together for Undisputed? We've never had that on UK soil before. Never had it. So why are we being begrudged it? It's almost like we're not good enough. We've served our purpose. Now they're on to bigger and better things. It's like, thank you very much. See you later. Screw you lot. I guess that's what most people are feeling. And when it comes down to the money, as I said, nobody would begrudge these guys earning as much money as they possibly can. But it's 2 Brits, isn't it? It's 2 Brits. Why would they not fight on UK soil? Ultimately, listen, they've got to get there first. Tyson Fury, he's got to keep doing what he's doing. He's got to try and get the other belt. Joshua, he's got to keep his belt. And then they can come together for Undisputed. For me personally, if it's Joshua, Fury, White, Joshua, however it may goes, if it's 2 Brits, it should be on UK soil. And I'm pretty sure in the negotiations, these guys are going to agree to a rematch. So win, lose or draw for any of these guys, there's going to be a rematch. So why not have the first one in the UK and then the second one go and make your mega money? I guess that's my feeling, and I can only presume that will be a lot of people's feelings as well. Because it's going to be a guaranteed rematch. So why not have the first one in the UK, earn your poor man's wage of 40 million each, and then go fight over in Saudi or Dubai, wherever it may be, and earn your 100-odd million for the rematch. Because that's the thing. People look at it and go, but you don't need the money. So why is it that money is a motivational factor in all this one? What happened to Eddie Hearn only 18 months ago, saying how the UK is the hub for boxing now? This is where the money is. This is where the profile is. No more do we have to travel abroad to make the kind of money and put on the kind of big fights that boxing fans love to see. Everyone has to come to the UK now. Suddenly now it's not. Again, things change in boxing. Today it's going to be this way, tomorrow it's going to be the other way. Yes, demographics change. With DAZN coming in, it's changed a lot of stuff. So certainly we get it. It's not like boxing fans are stupid. We're not stupid. We understand. We do understand. again, Eddie Hearn, you know what, he can come out and say all this as much as he wants, but ultimately the end decision goes with Joshua and Fury, doesn't it? If these guys are patriotic, they'll say, well, okay, that's cool, we can earn all that kind of money, but you know what, we don't really want for anything, so why do we need to go to Saudi or wherever? We're British, let's fight on British soil. And then we get the rematch done somewhere else. So maybe that's what these guys will say. I mean, Joshua always said, Undisputed should happen on UK soil. He's earned the right to have Undisputed on UK soil. Of course, when he's talking about Wilder, and he's absolutely correct. He has earned the right for that. And he's earned the right to fight wherever. And yes, he's a world champion, so he's willing to travel. Again, we get that. But maybe ultimately Joshua and Fury, or Joshua or Fury, may go, the only way this fight's going to happen is if it's on UK soil. Don't care about the money right now. This is about getting undisputed. That's all it is. Winner walks away with everything. Become the first full belt hold heavyweight champion, undisputed. So maybe it could go that way. So Eddie Hearn, he's getting a bit of stick for this one, and rightfully so. Now, he doesn't understand what it is that the British fans will be thinking about it. He doesn't understand that. He sees us as stupid. How can we think about ourselves? Because Dave from Stockton, as he called it, or whatever it was, said that we shouldn't be so greedy. Well, it's not that we're greedy or we think that they're greedy. It's just that we're British. We want to see our two Brits fighting each other on British soil. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. And putting people down because Brits want that kind of fight here in the UK for historical relevance and for the fact we get to go see it without having to pay for flights, insurance, accommodation and all that kind of stuff abroad. Potentially get visas. It is almost like we're not good enough. And I think that's what a lot of boxing fans are feeling. Some would be like, well, who cares? It's undisputed, just get it on. Again, I think people get that point as well. But for me, I think that these guys, they don't need that extra money. Or maybe they do, I don't know. Maybe they've got some kind of severe gambling problem. I have no idea. But I would presume that these guys don't want for anything. Now, Tyson Fury, he's shown disloyalty to the UK. So if a fight between him and Joshua or him and White, however it may go for Undisputed, he's quite happy to fight abroad. He doesn't have loyalty for British boxing because he feels that British boxing fans are not loyal to him. But Joshua's always said, it's about the British. I'm proud to be British. Well, let's see about that. Do you want legacy here in the UK or do you want to fight abroad? Anyway, as I said before, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Both these guys got to get there first. There could be some spanners thrown in the works somewhere along the line. So with Tyson Fury, for example, he's got 2 fights with Wilder. He's got to come through these fights. Most notably, the fight at a little bit later in the year. Because that way he can actually walk away with the belt. He's going to have to fight Dillian White. Then the winner, hopefully, will go fight Anthony Joshua, if Joshua can get past Pulev and Usyk. Again, no guarantees in boxing. This is heavyweight boxing. So ultimately, right now, there's a whole lot of things that's got to happen between now and then. Now, maybe between now and then, the demographics would change. Maybe. But right now, Eddie Hearn's saying that we British fans, we need to use our brain and understand that a fighter will take 100 million over 40 million, even if that means they've got to go abroad and not give back to those who have helped make them. And we have helped make them. And I think sometimes that's something that Eddie Hearn forgets, because he's on this whole DAZN venture. It's all about building the brand globally, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't forget where you came from. And ultimately, this is where you've got to come back to at some point. Anyway, listen, that's my thoughts on it all. Of course, you drop me yours. Do you think that 2 Brits fighting abroad for the first fight for Undisputed, it should happen abroad? Because who knows, maybe both fights would happen abroad, whether it's Joshua Fury, Joshua White, White Fury, however it may go. If it's 2 Brits, both the fights could end up being abroad. That'd be a bit of a kick in the nuts, wouldn't it? For me, fight a second fight abroad, fight it on Timbuktu for all I care. First one, just give it to us. Okay, just give us that bit of respect. I think that's all British boxing fans really want. Anyway, listen, as I said, that's my thoughts. You drop me yours below. Click the thumbs up to this video, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Subscribe.